Okay, so there's obviously a lot of problems on this Philadelphia Eagles team. A lot of problems. And this crosses over from last year. And obviously, we knew going into the season this wouldn't be an easy fix. We were hoping going into October we could at least be more optimistic about the remainder of the season, but so far that has not happened. However, out of all the problems that the Eagles have on this team, there's one problem that is the easiest to fix. One problem that is the easiest fix for the Philadelphia Eagles on this team. And you know what that is? Some of you probably already do, but for those of you that don't know yet, it's real simple. Run the goddamn ball. You heard? Run the goddamn ball. That's the easiest one to fix. The easiest problem for this team to fix. Now, we look so far through the season. Week 1, we did a pretty decent job balancing out the attack with the run and pass game. Okay, we got Miles Sanders. We gave him 15 carries. He had 74 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 9 carries, 37 yards. But then again, he was a late draft pick who we're bringing in as a backup running back. But still, pretty solid. And he got his first career touchdown out of it. Okay, solid job with the run between Sanders and Gainwell week 1. I know it was against the Falcons, but it showed that running the ball worked. Then week 2, he kind of got it was a little shaky with the run. So we had Miles had 13 carries, only for 55 yards, 19 less yards than the previous week. And Gainwell, he didn't get too many carries, but because then Gainwell had 6 carries for 14. So it was a little shaky on the run game week 2, but then again, the whole team looked a little shaky, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. But then we come to week 3, our most embarrassing loss thus far against our division rival, the Dallas Cowboys. And the way we played was absolutely fucking atrocious in that game. But nevertheless, we went in there, we got embarrassed. And in that game, Miles Sanders only had 2 carries. 2 for 27 total yards. Let that sink in. 2 carries for 27 total yards. So he had a 24-yard carry on one of his 2 carries. But yet we only give him 2 total carries. What's the explanation behind that, huh? What's the explanation behind not running the ball there? When it was clearly working, for the very limited time we did it, it was working, but we abandoned it, and we tried to be a pass-first team in that game, and we saw how that worked out. So explain to me, why would we possibly go and abandon the run when the very few times we did it, it was working? Now, last week, we did run the ball a little bit more. We had a total of, 11 carry, minus the 8 scrambles that Hurts had. We ran the ball a total of 11 times. What was it, 57 yards or something? Between 11 carries. Okay, not great, but not horrible either. And if you maybe could have ran the ball a little bit more against Kansas City, maybe that could have gave our offense a little bit more of a spark. Maybe. We don't know for a fact, but we were already doing good with the passing game in that game. Maybe, heaven forbid, we decide to run the ball a little bit more. It gives us a little more spark. We maybe score a few more points. Who knows? But out of all the problems we have, run the goddamn ball. Running the football is the easiest one to fix. Call more run plays. That's all you have to do. And I look at the Cowboys game. If we could have easily ran the ball more, who knows what could have happened? That could have completely changed the game. So if we ran the ball more, we could have reduced the turnovers on offense. Maybe and even possibly took up more time of possession, which would have gave the Cowboys less time with the ball. Maybe we score some more points on offense. With the Cowboys having the ball less, who knows? That could completely change the score of the game. I don't know for sure what would have happened. We'll never know now, but who knows how running the ball could have made a difference in that game. Get what I'm saying? We could have ran the ball more. Maybe 1 or 2 of those interceptions don't happen. Maybe the pick 6 doesn't happen if we run the ball more, so you take away some points from the Cowboys. Who knows? Maybe we march down the field on that drive instead with effective run game. And maybe if we effectively run the ball, maybe that opened more holes in the passing game, and we would have done better in the passing game later in the game. And who knows if we had a good attack with the run and pass later in the game, how that could have changed the outcome. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Get where I'm going with this? trying to indicate that, hey, a good run game could help wear down the defense, which could then open holes in the passing game, which could create a more effective offense, could help us control time of possession, which gives the opposing team less time with the ball. That may get where I'm going. Maybe that could have worked against the Cowboys, but I guess we'll never know now, will we? I mean, I guess it could have worked, but I mean, the point being, though, this one thing they could do differently, and I'd see the Cowboys game as the primary example, the one problem they have that is the biggest fix is clearly that, running the football. And I look at what the Tennessee Titans did with Derrick Henry, what they do there. They give Derrick Henry like 20-plus carries. He wears opposing teams' defense out, particularly last season. And you saw how well that worked in favor of the Titans. And it would help them win games. Why can't the Eagles do something similar? And we know Miles Sanders has what it takes to be a top-level running back. We know he has the potential to be such. We saw last season he broke off multiple 70-plus yard touchdown runs. Which raised the question, why didn't we get him more involved in the run game? Why isn't Miles Sanders one of the main focal points of this offense? He should be right up there as one of the main points of this offense, along with the passing game, along with getting the ball to Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. Giving the ball to Miles Sanders should be one of the main priorities in this offense. And just the run game period should be one of the main priorities in this offense. One of the main priorities. I don't understand why it hasn't been that way, when it most certainly should. Most certainly should be a main priority. That we should be running the ball. I mean, we have Miles Sanders, a running back who has the potential to be a Pro Bowl back. So why aren't we getting him more involved? And people, what excuse is there? Are you worried about his durability? What's the excuse? I know week 2 isn't an excuse, because all of a sudden, if that were, how come week 3 when you saw him break off that 24-yard, how come he didn't call an audible at the game plan and say, you know what? I think this run game can work better this week. Let's call more run plays. Why didn't you do that then? So that 49ers game is not an excuse for less running plays. I mean, what is the reason? Are you afraid to get these guys hurt? That ties into another problem, which is better conditioning. But what is your excuse for not making the run one of the focal points of this offense when you know it can work? We made the same mistake last season of not making the run a focal point when it was working for us. So why are we doing the same this year? I don't get it. There's no excuse for not having the run game be one of the main points of this offense. There isn't. There's no excuse. There's no excuse to just Eagles. Your biggest problem with the easiest fix is the play calling on the offensive side. And the way you do that, as I illustrate in this video, is run the goddamn ball. Alright? That's all I gotta say. Nicky Steve signing off. You guys have a wonderful day or night. I'll catch you next time. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm out.